Peace and love. Tonight we'll be doing a reading for the Divine Feminine energy. And this is not a relationship reading so much as it's a relationship between the self. And the main relationship that we want to cultivate is between us and the energy of spirit and the energy of the Creator or the Most High. Whatever name you would have for that main energy of life, that energy of creation, that heart space energy. Spirit, what messages do you have today for the Divine Feminine? What's the main energy of this reading? What do we need to focus on for the week, Spirit? Thank you. Angels, thank you so much for your protection. Thank you so much for your guidance. Most High, thank you so much for life. I call on my ancestors at this time for their healing, for their strength, for their wisdom, for their protection. For their clearing. Spirit, what energies do you have at this time? What do you want to share with the Divine Feminine energy? Me included. As we move forward into the week, as we move forward into the month, as we move forward into the year, as we continue on this journey, what energies do you have? Childlike expression. That's the main theme of this reading, the main energy. Spirit wants us to cultivate childlike expression. Spirit wants us to be lighthearted and free. Spirit wants us to remember when we were children and the things that we enjoyed, the simplistic things that we enjoyed. Spirit wants us to embody that energy again. Spirit wants us to be free. Free of the constraints of society. Let's give it more. We have flexibility, we have focus, and we have action. Flexibility, focus, and action. We also have right action, divine flow, and limitless. So with the childlike expression, Spirit wants us to remove the rigidity. We're too rigid. We're too rigid in how we want to see things come to pass. We have an idea of what we want the outcome to be. We want to control the movement forward. We want to control the path. We want to control ourselves. Maybe it's not about controlling others, but we want to have a firm grip on the movement forward. And Spirit is saying that we need to embody this energy of the child, the childlike expression, which is an energy of freedom, That's where the divine flow comes in. This idea of letting spirit move us forward. When you're a child, the heart space is open. You're not limited by the demands of life, the demands of work and money and those type of things, societal demands. You're able to embody a certain type of freedom. And it's difficult to get to this when we are so engulfed in life, but Spirit says that in order to move forward properly, we need to lighten the body up, lighten up the mind, and lighten up the heart. The divine flow means that we loosen the grip and we allow Spirit to move us forward. We become light on our feet. We become light in our mind, almost like a feather or a leaf blowing in the wind, that kind of energy, which seems silly, but it's the idea of being picked up by the divine, being picked up by the Spirit, the Creator, and allowing that energy, whatever you believe that energy is, allowing that energy to move you forward and allowing it to direct your life. And you can't do that when you're rigid, or when your heart is tight, or when you have controlled, when you're trying to control the destination or the direction. Spirit needs you to be flexible in this. Spirit's saying that you have some ideas of what you're here to do, but you don't know everything. You don't know the full direction, and that's okay. And the direction might not be what you want it to be. You might not go exactly in exactly the same way that you want to go, but that if you're flexible, you're able to weather the storms and the difficulties that come up with life, which is something that we need to be able to do on a regular basis, because when we're here to learn, to live, to lead, and to live a spiritual life, we encounter many difficulties that are a part of the journey. They're part of the healing process, and they're very important for us to encounter them and for us to go through them in all its fullness. And we come out on the other end blessed by Spirit, and we come out on the other end stronger in who we are. So you're asked to go into the divine flow, which is to lighten, to relax your shoulders. Just give thanks to Spirit, give thanks to the Most High, give thanks to your ancestors for the gift of life, and ask them to lead you. You say you don't know the whole way. You don't know the whole way. Even me reading the cards, I don't know the whole way. And we're not supposed to. But we are supposed to allow that energy to come into our life to pick us up, and kind of carry us bit by bit to the destination. Only when we're in the divine flow and when we're allowing ourselves to be flexible can we understand and discern the right action. The right action isn't what we think it is all the time. The right action isn't what somebody else has told us it's going to be. It's not on the news. It's not in the book. The right action is in the heart space. It's in this space here. It's in the light body energy. It's in the energy that's created with the divine flow. No other way. It's the energy that's created with the childlike expression. No other way. It's allowing the heart to be free. It's allowing play to come into your life. And not necessarily play where you're, playing with toys. It could be that. It could be playing with toys, but it could be picking up a pen and a paper and writing some poetry. It could be painting. If you used to paint when you were a child, it could be simple as going outside and just running around, or maybe going outside and dancing. Every now and then I go outside and, the little field beside my apartment, and I just turn on the music and I just dance. And, I have my headphones on, and I know people are looking at me like, what is she doing? Why is she doing that? But I'm dancing for my spirit. I'm dancing for my ancestors because they no longer are here physically to dance. So I dance for them and I put my feet on the earth. I give thanks to them in that way. But then I also dance for my spirit It's important for me to do that. And while I'm doing that, I'm creating a light body energy, in other words, I'm raising my vibration. So Spirit wants us to stay in a high vibrational energy or light body energy, which can only be accessed when we are in the childlike expression. It can't be accessed when we're bogged down by the demands of life, you know. And so it's understandable that we are, but we have to be able to come out of that and to find ourselves again. We can't stay in there forever. And we definitely can't be on the divine flow when we're on the path of society or the path of the rigid structures of life. So it's important to do that. It's important to have that childlike expression so that you can, like I said, discern the right action, because the right action isn't always visible, or it doesn't always come easily, and it's not, a lot of times it's not the easy path. It's the path that's crooked. It's the path that's all the way over here, you know. It's the path of the wild one, or the path of the one that you kind of look at like, you know, what's going on with that person. But that's when we're allowing Spirit to pick us up and to, you know, carry us. We're able to feel and sense and intuit the right action. That's another thing about the childlike energy. It puts us, especially if you're dealing with feminine energy, it puts us in the light body where we can receive messages from Spirit. And a lot of times our messages come from the outside world, where we're thinking about the nature spirits. We're thinking about, and of course our ancestral spirits too, but we're thinking about the animal spirits, and we're thinking about the river spirits, and we're thinking about the sea, and we're thinking about the earth, and we're thinking about the birds, and we're thinking about all those things, the trees. And so when you're light in the body, you're able to pick up on things that you wouldn't be able to pick up on otherwise when you're rigid and when you're stuck in the mind. But even still with that childlike expression, Spirit is telling us that we need to be focused too. So it's important to be focused. This is where the grounding comes in. When you're grounding yourself, and you know, we can ground ourselves in many different ways. It depends upon what's right for you. Some people meditate, some people can go for a walk, some people can listen to a certain song, some people can just kind of sit still, some people can just, whatever's right, whatever brings you back to who you are. It's something about this where the mind needs to be active. It's because the mind receives the messages, so the mind needs to be active always. Because we want to discern and we want to receive messages and downloads from our ancestors, from the spirit realm, from the spirit body, from ourselves, from our higher selves. We want to be able to discern and receive those messages. So it does take a degree of focus, but not focus in a way where it's rigid, but where you're aware. You're aware of who you are. You're aware of who you are in the mind. You're not swayed by other people. You're following your right action and your divine flow. You're not swayed by others. So you're able to focus in on your path, on your work for the Creator. Because don't get it twisted, we all are here to work for the Creator. We all are here to work for that energy, that Most High energy, that feminine energy, that Goddess energy, that Earth energy, whatever you want to call it, whatever that energy is for you. We are here to do a service to that. We're here to do a service to humanity, and we're also here to service our spirits and our souls, because once we leave this physical plane, we move on. But the spirit moves on. But the spirit is here to work. The spirit isn't here to sit around. The spirit isn't here to constantly feel, you know, like the world has beaten it down, you know, and you have to come up out of that. And so the whole lesson for this life, in my opinion, is to conquer and to recognize and to acknowledge the movement in the light body of the Spirit. And so when you allow the Spirit to operate and to lead you in your life, you're able to discern, you're able to follow the right action, no matter how difficult it might be. Spirit also says that not only do you have to move the divine flow, you have to discern the right action and move on the right path. You have to be flexible with that, and you have to stay focused. Another thing about staying focused, I want to say this really quickly, and we can kind of look to right now what's going on politically. It's easy to allow ourselves to be distracted by society, distracted by the television, what's on the news, what this person's saying, what this person is saying, and, you know, and those type of things. It locks the mind up. It brings in that stillness of the mind, but it's not a good type of stillness. It's where we're stuck. If you read the tarot or know that the tarot is the Eight of Swords energy, where we're not able to see our way out of certain things, or we allow other circumstances or the circumstances of life or the circumstances that are going on politically to dictate how we move forward. And Spirit is saying that the right focus is important. So the right focus is not what's happening on the TV, not what's happening on the radio, but what's happening with the divine flow, what's happening with the right action, what's happening with the childlike expression that you're creating for yourself as you move in the light body energy. These things have to be put away. The societal demands. Of course, we have to go to work and we have to do those things, but we need to be able to step out of it to properly hear what Spirit has to say. And prayerfully, we're in positions where we're working in places where we're able to discern and to hear Spirit. A lot of us, we don't. We're working 9-to-5 jobs. We're out there, and we're in the hustle, the bustle, the daily grind, and that type of thing. And so it's harder to step away from our desktops and say, okay, let me go and commune with Spirit. But the key is to be able to tap into access that light body energy at any time. Even if you have to walk outside of your job and just walk around the block and, Spirit, thank you for being here with me today. Could you, lighten me up? Angels, could you lighten me up today? Or just close your eyes. Thank you, Spirit. I know I'm here, but just lighten my energy up, because that's what it's all about. So no matter where we are in life, no matter what job we have, no matter how much money we have, we all have the ability to create and to talk to and to move into flow of Spirit. Because no matter who we are, Spirit has a plan for us. And the Spirit is a mixture of a couple of things. It's the Spirit, the Holy Spirit. It's the divine energy, and it's the Spirit on the inside. It's the higher knowledge. It's the higher self. So we come here knowing what we're supposed to do, and our goal is to ask Spirit to show that to us. And so that's what we're doing here. You're called to action. You're called to action here with your childlike expression. Spirit says that what do you know how to do? What do you remember when you were little? What did you do then? What did you do that might have enlightened someone? What did you do that brought a smile to someone's face? What did you do that made you feel good, made you feel like you could fly, or made you feel like you could conquer the world? That energy is still here for us to access. That energy is still here for us to enjoy, and we manifest properly when we're in that particular energy. It's difficult to manifest when we're in rigid energy, when we're locked up on the inside and on the outside as well. But Spirit says it's time now. It's time now to put that work that you might remember. Have to go back deep for some of us. It could be writing. You could have enjoyed writing. Like I said, painting. You could be a wonderful dancer. You could be a counselor. Maybe you just as a child, you just like to listen to others talk and you like to share stories. Or maybe you just wanted to treat people nicely. You were always just nice to others. Maybe you enjoyed teaching. You like to play in the classroom with your dolls, or, who knows what that could be. But Spirit is saying that a lot of your answers to your spirit work is found in the childlike expression, and also found in the expressions of being a child. And who you were then is not too different from who you are now, because when we come here on this planet, when we manifest on this planet, we come here with the understanding of something about the past life. If you believe in past lives, I certainly do. But you come here with a basic or spiritual understanding, not a basic, but a spiritual understanding of who you were beforehand. and what you like to do and what your specialties were. And then we go to school and they tell us what to do. And society tells you what to do, and then you have to pick a job, and you have to do this. And some people maintain and retain those type of things, but a lot of us, we tend to lose those things. I know for me, the arts were always important, whether it was writing, whether it was painting. Never really been the best with drawing, but I still would love to do it. But I used to love to write. I also loved, not really loved, but I had moments of maybe more towards like 6 and 7, 8 years old, where I would see spirits, and when I would talk to my mom about those type of things, and maybe my grandmother as well. And so you have to look back to who you were before society got its grips on you, And Spirit is saying it's time to put those things into action as you move forward. Limitless, the abundance, your ideas, your creativity, your vision for your future, the abundance of spirit, the way you can manifest, the energy of your spirit. All these things are limitless. It's nothing that you can't do. It's nothing that you can't create. It's nothing that you can't manifest. I don't care if you are sitting somewhere with nothing right now. You didn't get your $600 stimulus, I didn't get my stimulus. I'm still waiting on my stimulus. But if you didn't get your stimulus, it's okay, You're getting paid a little bit of money, you're barely scraping by, it's okay. Because the things that Spirit offers you, and it's not about money. You don't have to pay into it, which is wonderful. You don't have to pay into it in order to reap the rewards, because the rewards and the payment and the abundance is already on the inside. It's already here. And so the manifestation is inward to outward. You're taking what you have on the inside, what you have in the heart area, what you have in the mind, especially when we use it right in action and we're going with Spirit, with the divine flow. You're using that and you're pushing that energy outward. You're pushing it outward into the world. And so you are the abundance. You are limitless. You are the manifestation. You are the creation. You're all these things. You're the embodiment of all these things that are important. So Spirit wants you to know that our circumstances don't dictate our success, our spiritual success, and our abundance of spirit, our abundance of cultivating the spiritual body. So, which is the true abundance in life. Because like I said earlier, the body remains, but the spirit travels on. So we want the spirit to lift out of the body with the lightness, But Spirit is saying, let's get out of this thing of thinking about money and being locked into certain circumstances and being locked into a certain demographic, being locked into a certain job, being locked into a certain, income bracket or whatever the case may be, because, we existed before money. We existed before currency and before trading and before all these things. The Spirit existed before all of that stuff. And so abundance has always been here for the taking.